these randoms keep getting jobs? Don't worry about it. I'm going to say, I can't wait to say it. I love it. I love it. Go.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Not Bland Show, and I'm your host, Dujanae Bland. And of course, you know we are brought to you by Everything Nitro and SportsJourney.com. And of course, we are sponsored by Drag Race Bracket Bonanza. This week, ladies and gentlemen, it begins the playoffs. It is the chase for belts, period. So get in the game, get involved, and this is how you do it.
Drag racing fans, check out Drag Race Bracket Bonanza. It's the free, family-friendly fantasy bracket game. Now, after final qualifying at every national event, you can fill out your bracket for all the pro classes.
It's free, easy to click on your picks. If you need some help, just hit the randomizer button to fill in the blanks. It's for fun, stay engaged, and pick your winners today.
And we want to thank our sponsor, Drag Race Bracket Bonanza, for sponsoring this show. And, man, it's NFL season, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to bring in my teammate of SportsJourney.com, our photojournalist. He's one of the best in the business. That's why he's here. It's my guy, Serge the Shooter. What's going on, baby?
Man, what's up? What's up? What's good with you?
Man, nothing but football all Sunday long. And it was some good action, and there was some action that wasn't so good.
I'm disappointed.
I know. And a lot of Washington Commanders fans are. And we're going to start there first. Want to say what's up to Memphis Lonnie. Memphis Lonnie is a Bucks fan. He was happy this weekend, unlike Commanders fans. They were not happy. And it's our brother from the other side, the urban sports scene. Ray Jeezy in the building. I appreciate it, bro. Thank you for tuning in. Again, if you are new here, subscribe to our channel, share and like this show, and tell your friends we're here. We're talking Commanders, we're talking NFL, and if you want to talk about your team, just drop it in the comments, and we'll get to it. Well, Serge, here we are, week one. There's been a lot of Pitbull talk all season long during the training camp. And once again, we have another start of the season where there's a lot of pit bulls with mouths, but when they show up on Sunday, they look like show poodles. What's the issue here?
I mean, coordinator Joe Witt, defensive coordinator, said he was going to arrive violently and run through people. It was a lot of arm tackling, a lot of reaching. Guys was getting there. He put them in position. They just weren't finishing.
I agree. And too much trying to do more than their job. I mean, let's be real here. We understand Baker got a little bit of wheels, but he ain't no Michael Vick. And they made him look like Michael Vick.
You know what? It's only going to get worse from here. You still got Kyler, Lamar, Deshaun, Will Levis got wheels, Jalen Hurts. If Baker look like that, ain't no telling what's in store.
And we're starting with the defense here.
Yeah.
The back half of this defense is a problem for me. I appreciate guys being in the area to make tackles, but these aren't hard routes that these guys were running yesterday, and yet can't keep up. And then there's two instances again that we saw in previous seasons where it seems like safety and corner don't know what they're supposed to be doing back there.
Confused.
How are we confused again?
And then I don't even think the Bucks ran a complex offense. Everything looked simple. It ran a couple of slants, posts. It seemed like they were running the same play over and over because they knew they could get it.
Yes.
3rd and 17, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 8. You could count on them converting and just driving up and down the field.
Yeah. It's not a good look. And I understand the venom that spewed after the game. And as people got a chance to rest and think about it a little bit, sleep on it, still much of the same. And I can't disagree with the things that were said. And to be honest, like Lake said, I mean, we just can't hide anymore. Guys really need to find some heart and harvest their nuts. I'm just gonna call it like it is. I mean, you got there's too many guys out there that are just getting beat time and time again, and it's like, why? You've worked on this thing all season long. Do your job. I mean, we got 2 horses in the middle and couldn't even speak. I don't think Jonathan Allen's name was called once again.
And I set my expectations low, and the team still didn't meet it.
Yeah. And as agreed, I didn't have high expectations. I actually picked them to lose this game, but I expected to see a heck of a lot more of tenacity, aggressiveness, and some kind of testicular fortitude on the defense. And none of that seemed to show up on Sunday. Where and what goes on, and where do they go from here? What do you think needs to happen here on defense in order for them to have success in week 2 against the New York Giants team, ladies and gentlemen, is absolutely putrid?
Yeah, it got to start with the vets, the true vets, the Bobby Wagners, John Allen, Deron Payne. They had a lazy Payne actually had a decent outing, but
day.
You should have more from him too. But a big day from him, John Allen, Bobby Wagner, your true vets, carries a long way through the rest of the guys. There's a lot of young guys on that defense, especially in the secondary. If you can get those guys in the front 7 and attack, it'll ease the pain for the secondary. But Bobby Wagner didn't look like Bobby Wagner. I don't count on that being him in week 2.
I don't either. I think there was a little bit of thinking going on. I take that back. John Allen had 2 tackles.
He got it. Like the defensive line got through there. It's just they didn't finish off.
Right. And it's so important when, especially in this Dan Quinn type defense, the success on the back end. I don't need superstars on the back end, and that's not what I'm saying at all. Yeah. I just need guys to make plays. But on that front end, if those guys get home and make sacks, we're not talking about these off-scheduled plays where guys are running wide open and catching balls and getting big-time explosive plays if they get home. But again, at the same token, you still got to be within the vicinity to make a play. And that's a whole nother problem.
If you set aside the Baker plays, even on the run plays, it seemed like Rashad White and Bucket Irvin was getting 6 or 7 yards untouched before contact was even made.
Yeah.
So the run was even bad.
Yeah. It got ugly in the second half. Irvin finished the game 9 attempts and 62 yards. He had a 31-yard break there. White 15 for 31. They were kind of bottling him up a little bit, but Irving was having a day.
Yeah.
He was having a day. He was the bell cow. He was the guy busting open those runs and really hurting the defense, especially in critical moments when they needed to get off the field.
Yeah, that late in the third quarter, it was all him. He was doing his thing.
Yeah. Now, we'll get off the defense. Offensively, what were your thoughts on the offense overall?
So they were able to move the ball, so it helped ease what I was about to see to the offense. But you had one pass play over 10 yards. Right. Let's start there. I can't tell you if a receiver had more than 2 receptions. It was just all Jaden and
It was.
Brian Robinson
It
for the
was.
most part. And even he needed more touches. I think they got away from Brian Robinson early, but it was the Jaden Daniels show.
Terry had 4 targets, 2 receptions. Eckler had the 4 receptions. He had 4 targets.
I think Brian Robinson had 4 too.
Yep, had 4 targets. 3 were caught. And then your wide receivers are 3 for McCaffrey. He caught all 3 of his targets. 4 of 2 for Terry, which I feel like was not the one that should have been more involved in this offense, and they didn't do enough to get his playmaking ability involved in this offense.
Yeah, it's just you need the playmakers to step up, or at least draw something up to get Terry free if he can't get free on his own. But he need at least 10 targets a game if that's your receiver one.
Exactly. Zacchaeus is Zacchaeus, but he should not be the guy that he's looking at every time.
You need Noah Brown. You need Noah Brown active next week. I don't know if that was a playbook issue or what, but I fully expect him to be active next week. They talked about Deyami all summer. Get him on the field some more. Get him some targets. They got to do something.
It's got to change.
You can't do what you did against the Giants.
Right. Against a team, and we're going to get there before we move on. It's something that I saw throughout the league, and I was in Atlanta this week. And what I noticed with offensive coordinators this week, if you are a new quarterback to a new offense, or you are a rookie quarterback, it seemed to me that the play calling was very vanilla, and there was no sense of urgency to try to push the ball down the field. They may have had a couple here in Washington. I think it was 2 maybe. In Atlanta, Kirk had 2 throws. I don't understand what the deal is. Even on the side of the Pittsburgh Steelers, very vanilla. I'll talk about that too. That was for a whole nother reason. While Pittsburgh Steelers fans think that Justin Fields is the next coming and should be the starter, pump your freaking brakes.
Need to chill out.
So I need to see a little bit more effort to push the ball down the field and get those guys to back off a little bit. Ertz can make the plays. We know Terry can make those plays. And like you said, it's time for Noah or Deyami to get back and get in this game. We saw Deyami in preseason make plays, be shorthanded, give him an opportunity to stretch the field as well, because it's obvious they didn't respect anybody but Terry and Zach, because everybody else was struggling.
You take Terry out, you take the whole offense away.
Yeah.
Especially when you're down early and you can't run the ball like you want to. Take the whole offense away.
Exactly. Now, looking ahead to the Giants, a football team that I believe is poorly coached, it's poorly ran, GM's an idiot, and the quarterback that they invested in, I've been saying since Senior Bowl, before he was drafted, that he was not him. And yet people continue to think that because he had 1 year with a quality running back that he was going to be the next coming of their version of Phil Simms, throw in good quarterback. No. And now it's going to get worse. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen? You know what, New York Giants fans? Washington's coming.
Washington is on the way.
What do you see happening here?
All right, so Minnesota. What you think about Minnesota overall?
Well coached.
I believe Kevin O'Connell and the offense, they could do wonders. I think Kevin O'Connell can disguise about any quarterback he wants to. But I don't really believe in Minnesota defense. And they made the Giants look like they weren't worth nothing.
Right.
So you got to match the Vikings energy. Their defense not talked about for real. Washington defense not talked about for real. If they was able to do that, you should be able to do the same thing. So
I agree.
we gonna see.
And ladies and gentlemen, our family there, Candy Waller, Seawall, talked about this before all season as well. Coming into this game, it appears that when we speak, they don't listen because a lot of us had said temper expectations here. You have to realize, and I tweeted this earlier today. Right on Walle's thread there, Urban Sports Scene. My problem is this. Did you guys think that there was going to be something different? I mean, do you forget that this roster, it was bad?
Yeah, okay? I see a lot of tweets. I wouldn't say they was overreacting because most of the stuff they repeating that we said all summer about the receivers, they lacking playmakers, the secondary is bad. So after the week 1 game, everything that we talked about, it showed up. So it wasn't really nothing that we didn't know already.
Yep. And they got dismantled by a team that it was a playoff team. They did win their division last year, and they've been together a while. This team is just getting assembled and still has work to do. All the things can't be fixed in one off season, but again, things should be a little bit better than what was shown. And we hope to see that in week 2 and against the New York Giants. I'm telling you, if they lose against the New York Giants, you think they unglued now? The fan base is going to come unglued.
When the games get out of hand and you losing to teams that you feel like Washington should beat, it's hard to sit right there the whole game. Sometimes I just want to pack my stuff up and leave. So if it get out of hand next Sunday, I might have to call Lake and say, hey, I'm going back to Richmond.
Simba makes a good point here. Good point here. He says, let's talk about Terry lining up on 85% of the time on the left side of the offense, something Kingsbury struggled with in Arizona with D-Hop.
Mm-hmm. I got to go back and watch the game a second time. I did see people point that out.
Yep.
Yeah, I got to go back and watch it a second time.
I can't argue with him. Simba's 100% correct. And again, to his point, you need some help on the other side. And guess what? It ain't Zacchaeus. Diami needs to come in.
I don't remember seeing them get creative much with motions or anything. Nope. It was pretty standard. Bubble screen.
Line up. Exactly. Exactly.
And
it was very similar to what I saw in Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta looked bad. They blew my parlay. I'm still mad.
Yeah. We're going to get there. And yes, I agree. The entire game, not one motion, not anything. And the motions would even help McCaffrey as well, who I believe is going to be a killer in the slot.
I seen him come across the formation at least once or twice.
Right.
But yeah, Terry was on that side. Stand still.
Yep. And you're right, Simba. Motions kill defenses early. They do.
It make them think.
It does. Now, I'm going to go to the Atlanta Falcons here. It was a great crowd in Atlanta. When Kirk came out, the crowd exploded for Kirk. A lot of Cousins jerseys in the place there. A lot of Steelers fans. Steelers travel very well. It was about 20-25% Steelers.
The towels.
I mean, the flags were out. They were giving out flags, for the game for the Falcons, and the terrible towels were all over the place. It was just unbelievable to see. Kirk Cousins, not such a great day though. 16 to 26, 155 yards. The touchdown, very good. The 2 picks are Kirk Cousins-esque. I've kind of talked about that with Falcons fans when he was signed. First of all, they look like an offense that has not played together with that quarterback.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you that right now. Offensively on the run game, beautiful run game. The screen game is great.
Bijan 40 touches a game. That should be the plan.
Exactly. And Algier is a excellent spellback. I love his vision way he just kind of puts his foot in the ground, hits the hole, gets it done.
They took too long to get Kyle Pitts involved too. They just still struggling to get him going.
I don't understand it.
I thought they was ready to take off after he scored the touchdown.
Kyle Pitts was open 3 times in the first half over the middle for big gains. He had his man beat. The safeties were back far enough to where he could have fit the ball in, gotten big plays. Totally missed it. You're throwing check down Charlies all over the place. It didn't look like Kirk was comfortable. And it also, I'm going to criticize the play calling. Mm-hmm. Why do we have a man in pistol formation running a pseudo read option play when he just blew out an Achilles a year ago? Do you think that the defense gives one flying you-know-what about him and a pistol formation and a potential to run? Where he going to go?
It was one play where he threw the ball a bit too early. It looked like he didn't want to get hit. It was early in the second quarter maybe. He got rid of it.
The first interception was that too. The first interception was that too. He didn't want to get hit, and he threw it over there, and it was double covered. There was no way his man was going to get it at all.
Game action. He didn't play at all in the preseason, right?
Oh no, they didn't. They bubble wrapped him.
It's going to take a minute.
They bubble wrapped him. And defensively, Falcons defense with what they were put through did an excellent job. Held them to 6 field goals, no touchdowns. And when I look at the Pittsburgh Steeler fans, pump your brakes with that Justin Fields stuff, because I'm going to tell you exactly what I saw and what they were doing. They said, Justin Fields, we're going to bootleg you right, bootleg you left. We're going to give you a tight end in the flat. If he's open, throw to the tight end in the flat. If he's not open, you take off and run. And
he got that play to Pickens, and that sold it.
He had a couple deep throws. Guys got out of position. Cornerbacks were, I don't know what they were doing. I guess, I don't know. Did you not think that Pickens was that good? I don't know. Didn't watch the tape.
That was the TJ Watt game. TJ Watt was everywhere.
He was killing them. And I tell you, Justin Fields can throw a deep ball. He can run the ball. He struggles in his short and intermediate game. The inaccuracy in the ball throwing, when they asked him to drop straight back and throw it out to the sideline, throw a comeback, it's in the dirt, it's well away from the receiver, or it's too high.
He gets so antsy. I don't know what's his problem. He looked like a totally different quarterback from maybe his first 2 years to his last 2 years. Yes. I don't remember him being this bad in the pass game.
Yeah, I don't remember it either. I thought he was a lot better with the Bears.
But he wasn't this bad.
No, and it's nothing we hadn't seen in the preseason with the throws and intermediately and short. Look, don't give me the crap about him being a starter when he couldn't beat out Russell Wilson in camp. So you're telling me all of a sudden he played one game because Russell's hurt, and now all of a sudden he's a starter when he couldn't beat him out in camp? Miss me with that, bro.
Russell was in full uniform.
Miss me with that.
I thought they was gonna put him in at one point when they got bad.
I thought it was too. I thought it were too. But they managed to pull it out with 6 field goals.
6 field goals. Yeah. If you had the kicker on your fantasy team, he won you a game.
Yeah, big time, big time. Baltimore and Kansas City was the first game of the whole regular season. Mm-hmm. I'm very disappointed in Baltimore. I really am. You had all off season. It's not like Kansas City did anything special offensively. With what they have offensively, they underachieved. And once again, when the lights are bright and the moment is big, you flub it up by throwing over top of people's heads, inaccurate throws, and really, three good chances. And you blew it.
At the end of the game, you had 3 good chances. I was more disappointed with Derrick Henry. It took too long to get him going. I felt like they would have leaned on him and he could have got something going. That read option would have been lethal. And it still can be, but for that first game, they needed it.
Does he look a little slow to you?
He did. Like, it felt like it took him a hard time to get to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I felt that way too. It looked like you were watching him as he got up. It looked like it was kind of in slow motion a little bit.
Yeah.
I hope that's not. I hope that's not something that that continues, because that what gets good defenses, he's not gonna. There's gonna be a no gain unless you've got some kind of big hole there.
Lamar going 16 for 160, 170 ain't sustainable. You can't do that every game.
No,
they're gonna break him up. And he lost a little weight. It's not sustainable.
No. Kansas City looks like Kansas City. I'm gonna go with what I always say, whether it's in drag racing, basketball, or football. I will pick Kansas City to be where they're going to be and be in that championship game until they prove otherwise.
Yeah, it's hard to beat them. You got to make them beat themselves.
Yeah.
And Rashee Rice looked way better than last year. Like, he ready to take a leap. It just kept on going to him. The yards after the catch, he just lethal on the field right now.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And, they don't even have Marquise Brown.
Yes. And Worthy jumped off the porch early and took it to the end zone.
It's scary. It's scary. They got speed on speed.
I don't even feel like they unlocked anything that we won the game. Pacheco had a regular decent game. They might be dangerous this year, even more than the last 2 years.
It's scary. It is absolutely scary to think what they're going to do. And I'm looking forward to it. And Falcons fans, in about 2 weeks, they come into your town.
I think they got the Eagles and Kansas City coming.
Yes. And that Eagles game don't look good either.
And them field goals to Pittsburgh is kicking. That's not happening in these next 2 games.
No. Even though it is Kellen Moore, and I'm going to go right to Philly since we're bringing them up right now. Philly manages to get a win over Green Bay. I thought Green Bay should have won the game. Love gets a little injured here, get dinged up, going to be out about 4 to 6 weeks. Is Philly for real, or do you feel like they got over one?
They got over one for sure. I still feel like their pass defense is food. You pressure Jalen Hurts enough, good things don't happen. The run game looked good. Saquon just made everything look better. I feel like if you get a good team that could stop him, it'll make them think more. They still got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, but it looked like Saquon just made all that go away. It was his team. It looked like he's been there the last 3-4 years.
Yeah. He's got something to prove. My problem here, and I've said it all season long, is at the end of the day, Kellen Moore is still your offensive coordinator. This is the man that managed to ruin my quarterback, Justin Herbert, in a year. This is the same man that made Dak Prescott do things that are not really in his wheelhouse that makes him good, and managed to find ways for the Cowboys to stumble and fall flat on their face when it mattered. And this is the man that Sirianni decided to pick over the man that he decided to get rid of, who I believe is a scapegoat for his bad decisions. And now brings in another guy who's done nothing but make bad decisions. Yes. So I don't trust nothing about Philadelphia when you go in and bring in a guy. You let go of a guy who, in my opinion, is one of the best as far as calling offense, did an excellent job with the Eagles. Those things that happened were not on him. You had to blame somebody because maybe your butt was a little hot in that seat for the decisions you made. And now you bring in a guy in Kellen Moore and you think all of a sudden this is going to be better? This man managed to ruin an entire team in L.A. by himself.
He was paired with
Another dummy.
The defensive coordinator that became the coach.
Yes.
Can't think his name. Is probably best I don't. But yeah,
another dummy.
He ran that into the ground, man.
Ran it into the ground. So I don't buy anything about the Philadelphia Eagles. I do believe they are the class of this division. It's not hard to be right now because as we will move on to the Dallas Cowboys in this division, look, you beat a team you were supposed to beat.
Yeah. Even though they was set to be the underdogs.
They were. Don't get me all hyped up because you got to win. Your defensive coordinator was on the street for a while. Okay? So if he was so dang good, he wouldn't have been on the street that long.
No, sir.
So what does that tell me? Well, tells me that it's fool's gold. And it's always fool's gold with the Dallas Cowboys,
something
right?
Waiting to be exposed.
Yes.
Something waiting to be exposed. But they look good. I'm going to get credit when due. They look good.
They beat a team they were supposed to beat. Cleveland starts at the quarterback position, and you have a man who is a shell of who he once was.
And on the other side, you announced that the other man just got paid $200 million. So of course he can come out and stamp in Cleveland. They were in Cleveland, right?
Yes.
He put a stamp on it.
And he had nothing to lose. He got paid. So if he threw a couple INTs, it wasn't gonna matter. Now he inked in. He ain't getting fired.
I'm here. Next 4 years. I'm here.
And he lit them up. I'm looking forward to seeing how the rest of this division plays out.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny to me, how the reactions are over one game. I thought Indy, a lot of people are critical of Anthony Richardson.
Mm-hmm.
I really like what he brings to the table. He's a big man. And I'm really tired of these prognosticators trying to compare guys like Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams and Anthony Richardson to a Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Look, these guys understand how to get down. Cam Newton was a different dude, was asked to do different things. Guy got injured one time and he's like, oh, he stays injured. He had 1 year. Like, he had 1 year. This guy can sling it.
Yeah.
They have the talent. I think him and CJ Stroud, the guy who they thought that was just absolutely going to be a complete bust, are the two best quarterbacks in their division, hands down.
I don't know that. My guy T-Law, he about to make some noise.
You think so?
T-Law looked good yesterday. I mean, they folded, but ETN fumbled. Then they had a kickoff and he got fumbled. I think they recovered it, but the momentum swung.
Yeah.
But T-Law looked good.
Yeah, I know that's what my father-in-law was talking about, that aspect of it. He was able to watch him in the preseason game, the last preseason game in Atlanta. The accuracy with the ball placement, he thought was superb and different than what we've seen in years past. He's going to have to show me, but this is a tough division now.
It is.
This is a very tough division.
Outright say that Houston going to run a division, no matter how good they look.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's a dogfight in that division. Carolina, the new Washington Redskins of the NFL. As their owner is the new Dan Snyder.
From the field to the owner.
I don't blame Bryce Young here, and there's a lot of criticism for being thrown his way this afternoon by a lot of talking heads. But all I see is a situation that we've seen in Washington year after year, no matter who's on the field, no matter who's at quarterback, it all starts at the top.
Right. And
I feel like what's going on and what this owner has been doing with this franchise is showing up on the football field. It's not Bryce Young or anybody else's fault. They collectively did not play well yes, he didn't play well, but they're not putting this kid in position to make plays.
They got a collectively bad team. They don't have a legit threat at running back yet. Maybe Brooks come back and he is that. Receiver, no legit threat. The tight end, no legit threat. The defense, secondary. I think they cut like 5 guys to
Yes.
make room for 4 guys in the secondary. They lost Derek Brown in that first game. They cut Caleb Chason. I think they picked him up from a first-round pick.
Yeah.
They bad right now.
Bad decisions after bad decisions, and they're going to pay for these bad decisions.
It's going to take a minute. That was a tough job to take, but hopefully he can get some shaking. Maybe they got to get rid of the owner first, like Washington.
Yeah.
But Bryce Young caught a bad deal.
Yeah, that's bad. And you know what? I said it about a lot of these quarterbacks that got drafted this year. There's a big difference than any year we've ever had at quarterbacks being drafted. All of these quarterbacks went to franchises who are on the up and up, not in the basement trying to scrape out of the barrel, fingernails busting and bleeding, trying to get out of the barrel. They're actually on the up and up. There's talent around them, and there's an organization that is moving forward in a positive direction. And a lot of these quarterbacks, I believe, including Bo Nix, who I had questions about, I believe are going to be successful. And they went to places where they can be successful because the coaches understand what they do best.
I don't know a better situation that a number 1 pick than had ever. And what Caleb Williams walked into with those receivers and that defense, Washington, they didn't new staff across the board, new GM, a lot of money to spend next year.
Yeah.
The Patriots may be in the worst position of them all, but they got about 2 rookie receivers that might break out and a good running back in Stevenson. May should come in next year with a better line. Bo Nix, Sean Payton, he one of the toughest coaches you could play for. They got the Oregon receiver, I think, with Troy Franklin over there in Denver.
Yeah.
You got Sutton over there, Javonte Williams, and drop weight. He should be back to form. Dude, all the rookie quarterbacks landed in a good position.
Yeah.
And it's just, like you said, they on the up and up.
Yeah, it's beautiful to see. Very excited about how these quarterbacks are going to end up and what their careers are going to look like in 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
The Chargers, you get your guy, in Harbaugh, and they look like a team that fought hard against a team in the Las Vegas Raiders, I believe, will have some success under Gardner Minshew. They have talent around them, and I believe they have a coach in Pierce that is a coach that players will get behind because he's genuine and he's not feeding you no BS. And he's been there and he's done that.
Straightforward.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't really, that division, it's kind of like the Chiefs in the game. Chargers got their quarterback. The Raiders looking for theirs. The Broncos, hopefully they got theirs, but it's really the Chargers and the Chiefs. I don't believe in Herbert much. I'm still waiting for him to show me, but
yeah, I agree.
He got the tools. I'm just waiting to see, can they win? Could they overcome something?
Right.
Ever since they blew that lead in the playoffs, I said he got to show me.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. He's been talked about a lot. He's been put in a lot of positions to have the opportunity to put the team on his back sometimes, and he just hadn't
rightfully
been
so.
able to do it.
The year was special.
Yeah. He's definitely got to show it. I think he's got the coach to be able to do it. And it seems like they've got some ball players now. Nobody really stands out, but they've got a little bit more complete offense, I believe, with what they have around him. And we'll see how it goes.
Up front, going to be good for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Protect them.
Definitely. Man, what the heck is wrong with this Cincinnati team and our football guy, our quarterback here, Mr. Cody Rhodes. I mean, Joe Burrow.
Maybe it was the egos. It was too much talk about contracts. T. Higgins need one. Jamar Chase need one. Burrow got his. The offense just didn't look in sync.
Right.
Other things on their mind right now. I mean, they had what? Maybe 2 or 3 fumbles. It just things weren't bouncing their way.
No.
Their heads in other places.
Do you think it's a little disrespectful for Jamar Chase with 2 years left on his contract to be talking about a new contract?
Nah, I'm all for them getting their money.
Okay.
But I do wish that it wasn't as publicized as it is.
Yeah.
Like
Me
the
too.
whole I just want to be Justin Jefferson thing. That's what I don't like that look. It's a bad look.
It is a bad look. I wish a lot of the contract discussions would stay behind closed doors as well, because it starts to grow legs and becomes a whole entire monster of its own, and then it becomes a really big distraction for everyone.
And this is really bad when your receiver 1 and receiver 2 both need a contract.
Yep.
So you got them looking at each other like, which one will get it first? You taking too much, not leaving on for me. The quarterback got to vouch for 1 or 2 of them. Yeah, they in for something.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. And Dallas is in the same situation. They paid their quarterback, their receiver. Michael Parsons needs his money. And if you pay him, y'all going to be in hell. Who are you going to be able to get?
They're going to be in a situation like San Fran.
All time.
But the difference
with less
is
talent.
San Fran could actually get to the Super Bowl.
Right.
They'll be paying people just to lose in the wild card, maybe.
Yep, I agree. Look, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to break down this Monday night matchup before we get out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Talking Funny Cars with Buddy Hall. That is on your NHRA fast channels, all your free channels. That is on Roku, Tubi, Sling, anywhere there's free channels. NHRA is there, and it debuts every Wednesday at 8. Very good show. Check it out. Even if you're not a race fan, you'll learn something. You'll learn something about those cars that go 300 plus miles an hour. So here we are, Jets and 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers is finally here, back. We hope he plays more than 4 snaps.
Yeah, boy. The best quarterback that ever played a game.
What are we looking at here with these two teams who I believe are both talented? I think the talent leans a little bit to the Jets when you look at their overall package, especially defensively.
Yeah.
And now you add an Aaron Rodgers to what they have put together offensively. Is this a coming out party for the Jets?
On paper, they got a top 5 roster. I can't think of a hole on the roster. You got a running back, Breece Hall. You got Garrett Wilson, Mike Williams on the other side. You drafted Corley. He nice. Conklin, he not a bad tight end. Decent line. Drafted another guy. He should play soon. Defensive line stacked. Corner stacked. DJ Reed and Sauce. The safeties. Linebacker CJ Mosley in the group. You would like to get Hassan Reddick out there, whatever he doing. But on paper, they don't have a hole. So it's either now or never.
It's got to happen. I'm not a huge Aaron Rodgers guy, and most people know that.
I know.
But you can't deny the fact that in the big moments, when the lights are bright and the moment is extremely big, Aaron Rodgers makes plays.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have the Super Bowls and the plethora of playoff wins to go with what he's done as a quarterback, but you can't deny the playmaking ability and his ability to get his receivers the ball with excellency.
The best thrower of the football. May not be the best quarterback overall package, winning, getting the rings, but throwing the football, he's that guy.
And he's got the receivers to be able. He's got more receivers than he's ever had, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, he do. If Donald Driver was on the older end, so yeah, right now he got the juice. Garrett Wilson and hopefully Mike Williams stay healthy, but they got some guys over there.
Now the Niners, Ayuk is paid. We know Kyle Shanahan and what he likes to do. He is a mastermind and he is very clean with his ability to give his quarterback every opportunity to be successful.
Yeah.
You got Trent. Trent's going to be out there, fresh legs. I do disagree with him once again being a menace and about a contract again. I don't agree with that. I don't. Like I said, I'm not against anybody getting any money, but let's be practical here.
My thing was him. I thought he had just got paid handsomely.
Right.
At least wait until Purdy and Ayuk get theirs.
Right.
But he got his immediately after Ayuk.
And again, why not pay the man?
Yeah.
He is the best left tackle in football.
Maybe in history, but
should never be out of burgundy and gold. Should never have been out of burgundy.
Almost shed a tear just now.
But here we are. Now that they got that left tackle back, we saw them make a couple plays when that offense came out there with no Trent Williams.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little tough for Brock Purdy on the left side of that offensive line.
Yeah.
It was obvious. McCaffrey's out there now. We're going to have that ability. We know what he brings to the game there.
I'm
concerned about their defense.
The defense, I don't think Greenlaw back yet. You got some guys up front, Nick Bosa, you got Fred. Is Hufanga back?
That I am not sure of. I'd have to look that up.
It's a pretty even matchup on both ends as far as pound for pound talent.
I worry about the passing game though, because see, this is my thought. I've got Aaron Rodgers, and they have a formidable. The thing about the Jets, they have a very formidable running game. They got a rookie who can run it. They've got Breece Hall as well. So if I can get that combination going, and I can get guys like Fred Warner to suck up, now I give one-on-one for these guys. Who pick them? Pick them.
That's a good question. Who on San Fran's back end could really challenge?
Ward, you got
Traverse Ward is nice.
Isaac, what is it?
It start with a Y. I can't.
Yeah, or Yadam or Adam. You've got Rock Young Sin, who hasn't really been what I like him, but he hasn't really been what I thought he would be.
Big physical guy.
Hufanga is not back yet. He is doubtful, and he likely will not play with that ACL. So it will probably be Odom back there, George Odom or Trace Walker. You've got Brown back there at free safety. And I think it's Luter Jr. He is also injured. Coach's decision, I believe, is what they have marked there. So Greenlaw is also unable to perform list. He won't be returning until week 5.
So they lack a little bit of talent there.
Little bit.
And they did get rid of Wilkes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a different look on the defensive end. I don't know. Aaron Rodgers might be food for Aaron Rodgers.
It's going to be a tough one.
Garrett Wilson got his work cut out for him.
Yeah.
I ain't think about it that way. Earlier, I was thinking that it was going to be a shootout offense for offense. But when you think about it, if the Jets defense gets going, I don't think San Fran defense can match up with the Jets offense.
I don't. I think they're missing too many key spots.
Unless Nick Bosa takes over and gets to Aaron Rodgers and rattle him a bit.
And we got Fred Warner.
Sent him a couple times. Yeah. Greenlaw is a big miss too. We seen that in the Super Bowl.
Yep. That's a big miss. And to have that many people on the back end out, along with that linebacking core, that's a lot. And like I said, I mean, it is on paper, and we are kind of forward thinking here. I know a lot of folks who are Jets fans are like, this is the Jets, though. I mean,
the Jets gonna be the Jets. That's what they're gonna say.
Right.
San Fran gonna have to send the pressure.
I'm going with the Jets, and look, like I believe in the pick'em. It's over 90% who are picking the Niners. I went out on a limb a couple times this week in the pick'em. I picked. As a matter of fact, I'll look at it right now. So I went ahead in the week one. I thought it would be the Ravens. That didn't work out. I thought my pick for the Green Bay Packers was good until Love went down. And I went ahead and went out on a limb and took the Jets here over the Niners. Over 88% of fans are taking the 49ers. Only 12% are taking the Jets. I smell upset.
And it was a lot of those trending that way this week with the Patriots over Cincy. The Cardinals actually had the Bills for a minute.
They did.
Even the Chargers started out slow with the Raiders. Green Bay got off to a good start against the Eagles. Stuff was trending that way.
Lonnie says, what was the over-under or number of snaps that Aaron Rodgers takes?
Nah.
They're probably going to run about 35 to 40 plays. I'm going to say 30 over.
I don't like that. That's my boy. I actually missed that game last year. I was at a high school game. Somebody said Aaron Rodgers just went down. I said, game just started. They said, yeah, it did. And his night over.
They have to call Jeff out of retirement home.
Namath usually on the sideline, right? He show up to the games.
Yeah. Sometimes he does. He does show up. He can still sling it.
Take the coat off and get him out there.
Marino can still sling it. He can't get hit, but he can sling it.
I seen him in that commercial. Like he still go.
Yeah.
If you want to treat Aaron Rodgers like the Steelers treated Kirk Cousins and just send the pressure at him, see how you back from that injury, by all means, that's your best option.
I think that is. I think this offensive line is better than it was last year, and that was my concern when they brought them in last year, was the fact that this offensive line was potentially not going to be able to protect him last year. I think they're better suited to do so this year, though.
You got Tyron Smith on one end. They went out and got back Morgan Moses on the right side. And if either one of them should not perform, they drafted the guy from Penn State, Olu. So they put some work into that old line and keep Aaron Rodgers healthy.
That's true. So who you got?
I got the Jets by 10.
I'm going Jets in 5.
Hey,
Jets in 5.
This might get ugly early. If Aaron Rodgers play like Aaron Rodgers, it could get ugly early.
I think what's going to end up happening here is going to be a key turnover. And I think the Jets defense is going to whether it's a fumble or interception. Brock's not known for throwing too many interceptions. So I'm going to say it's going to be some type of a fumble, maybe a sack fumble that turns into extra points. And I think that's going to be the difference in this ball game.
I don't think Sauce got an interception last year. First game, he getting one.
I like that. That's a bold prediction. I like that.
Let me clip this up so when it happened tonight, I could get my "I told you so."
Yes, most definitely. Man, I'm looking forward to Monday night. It's going to be a very good week, too. I think there's so much parity in this league now. With the exception of a few outliers, there's a lot of parity in this league. It's going to be a fun week, too. Of course, we'll be covering it all here at Sports Journey. A lot of great work. A lot of great work on the site. Go to sportsjourney.com. You Commanders fans, a lot of good stuff there. Our guys, Bob Matthews, Connor Forrest, and, of course, Lake Lewis, all up there. You know where all the great photography work is coming from. And, hey, watch out. Serge the Shooter also can throw a few articles up himself. So there's great work coming from all of us. Going to be a lot of great video work. So stay tuned here at sportsjourney.com. And Serge, first time, not last time.
I had to come out the shell.
Yes, sir.
Now.
Yes, sir. Oh, man, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun year. We're going to have a blast here.
We turning it up this year.
Yes, sir. Tell them where they can follow you at and talk shop, because you're real good at that on Twitter. Artist formerly known as X.
Serge the Shooter on Twitter. Serge the Shooter on Instagram. Serge the Shooter.pics on Instagram.
Great work.
That's what we doing.
Great work, man. All right, Serge. Until next time, we'll be at you.
We'll run it back next time.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Serge, that's my guy, man. My teammates, they do excellent work. It's going to be a fun year because they're going hard. All of us are. Great things coming here this season. And, man, we're going to be giving y'all the scoop on everything this year because we're covering the NFL. We're covering it hard. And there's going to be a lot of great analysts, a lot of great stuff coming in. So make sure you guys come in, get in the comments, put your team out there. Get your questions out there, and we'll be glad to come in and give you our take, our analysis, our clear and fair analysis on your football team. Well, this is the end of this particular show. Again, if you are new to this show, go to our YouTube page, The Not Bland Show, at The Not Bland Show, and give us a like, give us a subscription. Every subscription helps this channel so we can continue to grow and continue to get sponsors to continue to bring you even more great stuff. Next, tomorrow, we are going all in on the quarter mile in the 1,000-foot. It is NHRA Mission Foods Championship Playoff Drag Racing starting at Maple Grove Raceway this weekend, September 12th through the 15th, 14th, 15th, something like that. It's going to be good. It's going to be a big slugfest. I mean, a lot of great cars top to bottom. We're going to talk about it. My guy, Dave W., is going to be on tomorrow with us to discuss it all. I expect you guys to be there as well. Again, support our sponsorship at Drag Race Bracket Bonanza. That's dragracebracketbonanza.com. Join the league. Join the league. The Not Bland Show League. If you want the code, hit me up at NotBland21. Another one down. We'll come back at you tomorrow. We're out of here.